In a world where one man dresses like a bat and another rules the most advanced nation on Earth, they are both called heroes, which is interesting because one solves crime with surveillance and emotional repression, and the other solves it with science, tradition, and a sister who roasts him. This is not a fight. They never meet. They don't even live in the same universe. So obviously, we're comparing them anyway. One villain wants to watch the world burn. The other wants to correct history with violence and excellent posture. This is Dark Knight versus Black Panther, guilt versus growth, fear versus responsibility, billionaire trauma versus generational trauma. Welcome to the channel, where we break movies down and ask the dangerous question, is your hero actually helping, or just really good at posing in the rain? The ordinary world Batman. Gotham is already a nightmare. Bruce Wayne's normal life is dressing like a bat and punching crime in the face. Black Panther. Wakanda is perfect. Flying cars, free healthcare, laser spears. T'Challa's biggest problem is, wow, I just became king. Don't mess this up. Winner. Wakanda. Gotham needs an exorcism. The Call to Adventure Batman. The Joker shows up and basically says, I'm going to emotionally destroy this city for fun. Black Panther. Killmonger shows up and says, I'm going to emotionally destroy this monarchy and bring receipts. Difference. One is chaos incarnate. The other is chaos with a PowerPoint presentation. Refusal of the call Batman. Maybe I should stop being Batman. Immediately does not stop being Batman. T'Challa. Maybe my father was wrong. Immediately realizes his father was very wrong. Growth level. Batman equals repression. T'Challa equals self-reflection, like a functional adult meeting the mentor Batman. Alfred, who gives advice like, some men just want to watch the world burn, then hands Bruce tea and emotional damage. Black Panther. The ancestors, who appear in purple mist and say, we messed up, my bad. Mentor. Energy. Alfred equals disappointed dad. Ancestors equals group apology session. Crossing the threshold. Batman takes the blame for Harvey Dent's crimes. Crosses into full martyr mode. Black Panther. Gets thrown off a waterfall and literally dies for like 10 minutes. Batman sacrifices reputation. T'Challa sacrifices his pulse, tests, allies, and enemies. Batman has Lucius Fox, Gordon, and a phone-based surveillance system that would make the NSA blush. Black Panther has Shuri, who solves problems by saying, why didn't you just make it better? And then does. Batman builds gadgets. Shuri invents the future before lunch. The ordeal Batman. And the Joker breaks him mentally, ethically, and emotionally. Batman wins physically, but loses spiritually. Black Panther fights Killmonger, who is right about colonialism, oppression, and Wakanda's isolation, just wrong about murdering everyone. Villain truth bombs. Joker, you're all bad deep down. Killmonger, you abandoned your people. One is a nihilist. The other read history. The reward Batman saves Gotham, but becomes the villain in the public story. Black Panther saves Wakanda and learns how to open it to the world. Reward type. Batman equals emotional scars. Killmonger's scars have a real-world origin. Michael B. Jordan's ritual scars were inspired by real initiation markings used by some African tribes, and by enslaved Africans who scarred themselves to remember each life taken. So yeah, not just edgy design. Most of the cast didn't use their normal accents. Chadwick Boseman chose a Pan-African accent on purpose to avoid tying Wakanda to one specific country. It wasn't random. It was political world building. The Dora Milaje are comic accurate. Those bald heads and red armor are straight from the comics. The look wasn't futuristic. It was about rejecting Western beauty standards. Lupita Nyong'o's character was almost a villain. Early drafts had Nakia become an antagonist. Instead, she became the moral compass, the one actually pushing Wakanda toward change. The waterfall challenge scenes were filmed practically. The warrior falls, the crowd, the combat. Very little CGI in those sequences, just real stunt performers and a lot of yelling. Killmonger almost won. By design, Ryan Coogler wanted audiences to sympathize with Killmonger, not dismiss him. That's why his final line, "Bury me in the ocean," hits harder than most superhero endings. The museum scene was a deliberate jab. That opening museum scene? A direct critique of how Western museums display African artifacts, often taken during colonization. Marvel really said, let's start with a history lesson. It's the first superhero film nominated for Best Picture yep. Not just good for a superhero movie. Good for movies. Wakanda Forever salute wasn't planned as a phenomenon. The crossed-arm salute wasn't meant to go global, but audiences made it a symbol of pride, respect, and power. The Joker has no origin because chaos hates lore. Every time he tells his backstory, it's different. That's not lazy writing, that's weaponized uncertainty. You want answers. The Joker says, no, be uncomfortable. Real explosions, real fear. That hospital explosion, practical effect. Real building, real delay. Heath Ledger pauses because the detonator actually misfires. Nolan kept it. Because chaos doesn't hit its marks. Batman spies on everyone, we're cool with it. Bruce builds a citywide surveillance system using cell phones. Lucius Fox says, this is unethical. Batman says, just this once. That's how every dystopia starts. The movie says, this is wrong. But what if it works? And that's the whole debate. Gotham is just Chicago. Having a bad day. They didn't hide the city. They filmed in Chicago and said, yeah, that works. Real streets. Real traffic. Because nothing says gritty realism like a Batman chase next to a Starbucks. Christian Bale's Batman voice was a choice. Was it necessary? No. Was it memorable? Unfortunately, yes. Bruce Wayne whispers like he's afraid of waking the furniture. Batman sounds like gravel, gargling gravel. Same guy, same lungs, wild. Harvey Dent is the real tragedy. This movie pretends it's about Batman versus Joker. It's actually about watching Hope get mugged. Harvey Dent starts as the White Knight, ends as a coin-flipping warning label. That's the movie's thesis. Good intentions are fragile. Two boats, no one pushes the button. The ferry scene is the Joker's social experiment. And guess what? People don't blow each other up. That's the most unrealistic thing in the movie. And also the most important. Batman loses on purpose. Batman doesn't win. He absorbs the blame, so Gotham doesn't collapse. That's not justice. That's myth-making. He becomes the villain in the story, so society can keep pretending it works. No end credit joke, no reset button, no quips, no dancing. Just a man running from the police. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.